guys, Larissa with BeCozi.com is here. BeCozi.com is an American website, and BeCozi.net is the same website. It goes to one website, BeCozi.com or BeCozi.net. And American website, we're located in Holland, Michigan. If you're local, feel free to stop at our office. And we have the biggest amount of chunky yarn in United States. We have multiple colors, different kind of chunky yarns, and we're making these videos to promote our chunky yarns. Today I will be promoting our beautiful velvet yarn. We have Plush and Lush velvet yarn in stock for a few years. This is our new and approved Plush and Lush. We call it soft and stretchy. What's the difference? It's softer and it's actually stretchy. And we just received new colors. So this new beautiful color, lilac. We just received this gorgeous misty green, kind of like minty color. We have pretty recently received black and hot pink. Look at this beautiful bright color. We also received this beautiful new blue color and mocha. This is our new colors. And for a few months we already have gorgeous olive and gray and also navy blue. So what this yarn is great for? This yarn is great for making anything you can only imagine, like for example, beautiful purses. There is a video where I'm showing how to make it at YouTube of BeCozi. And see, this is another beautiful color that we have in stock, yellow. And this is the inside out purse, beautiful olive. And also you can make a beautiful basket or beautiful cat bed like this guy sitting here. Your cats would love something like that. Or like something like this rug. This rug is made for the purpose to use in the nursing room. You can put it on the floor and place a baby and change the baby diaper using this beautiful rug. You can also make a pillow like that. This one made with tube yarn, but velvet tube would look even better. And another pillow like that can be done with our velvet yarn. And of course, very popular, a poof or ottoman made with our gray beautiful velvet yarn. There's another video where I'm showing how to make it. You also can find it at YouTube BeCozi channel. But today we will be making a beautiful weighted blanket, because blanket made with this yarn are weighted. And what is good about weighted blankets? Blankets that are heavy, they're really good for people with anxiety or depression, or actually some medical issues like arthritis, because when you're sleeping under the heavy blanket, you will feel much better in the morning. I will be showing you how to make a very small blanket. This is 30 by 35. It's kind of like a baby blanket for the crib, or you can use it as a lap throw. It's just an example, and I will be using our misty green. And I will be using 2 skeins like that. This yarn is sold in skeins like that. It's 2 pound skein. And if you want to order 3 pounds, then it will come, you cannot actually order 3 pounds. You need to order 4 pounds because it will come in 2 skeins like this, guys, okay? So this blanket, we use 2 skeins. And for a bigger blanket, I will place the information underneath the video, how much you will need for bigger sizes. Again, you can find this yarn only at BeCozi.com online. We're shipping around the United States. Go get some yarn and let's make a blanket. Okay guys, let's get started. So this is our beautiful new color, misty green. Look how beautiful this color is, and you can see how plush and lush this color is. So let's find where it's starting. Here we go. And now we can start. We found the end of the yarn. Place the yarn in front of you like that. This is the tail, this is working yarn, and working yarn goes on the top of the tail to make a loop like that. When you have a loop, insert your hand inside the loop, grab working yarn, and then take these two strings and pull this loop up. And you just made your first stitch. You can make the stitch bigger and smaller by pulling this yarn up or down. We will keep the first, this is your first stitch, and we will keep it about 3 inches wide or tall. So what we will be doing now? Now we will be casting on a chain of 12 stitches, guys, okay? So insert your hand, grab working yarn, and pull it out. We just made our second stitch. Now we will press the yarn with our left hand, the bottom of the stitch, and then we will insert our hand, grab working yarn, and pull out next stitch. Then repeat, press the bottom of the stitch with your left hand, insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. See, we have 4 stitches now. They're approximately the same size. So that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to keep them all about the same size. So as I said, we will be making a chain, this called a chain, cast on chain, and we will be making 12 stitches, guys, and that will give us the width of the blanket of 30 inches, about that. Depends how tight or how loose you will be knitting. I will be knitting with the medium tightness. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 stitches. What we are doing next? We're flipping this cast on chain on another side like that. Working yarn goes now over here on the back in the direction where we will be knitting. We will be knitting right to left. So this is our first stitch, and we will insert our hand from underneath, grab working yarn, and pull it through. So we just made our first stitch. Next stitch we will be making from the middle part of the chain, not the top, not the bottom, the middle part. The reason we will be doing it because this chain will stay on the bottom if we use the middle part of the stitch. So this is our first stitch. Now we're taking this middle part, lift it, insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull the stitch out. This is our second stitch of the first row. Try to make it the same size as the first one or as the previous one. Insert your hand inside this middle part of the stitch, pull the stitch out. Again, not the top, not the bottom, the middle part, lift it, grab working yarn, pull it out. So as you can see in this video, how beautiful this yarn is, and that will give you a very beautiful blanket, and the blanket will be pretty heavy, pretty bulky, but that's the point of the weighted blanket. The weighted blanket is really good for sleeping under at night. So here we are. We made our first row, guys. And what we're doing now, we will be placing the working yarn in the opposite direction where the knitting will go, not will go from the left to the right. And we will be repeating our process by inserting our hand only. Now we will be inserting inside this every of the stitches. Insert your hand inside the first one, grab working yarn and pull it out. The same with the second stitch. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. Keep doing this simple knitting stitch to the end of the row. Make sure to knit all stitches, because the most common mistake for people who are just starting hand knitting to skip one of the stitches, and unfortunately then to learn about it when the blanket is ready. So here we are. We knitted all the stitches, and if you are new, I always recommend to double check that you knitted all the stitches, you didn't skip any. So we had 12 stitches, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so you knitted all of them, you didn't skip any. So what are we doing starting this row? Starting this row, we will be skipping the first stitch. So see the stitch that I just knitted as the last? It will be just sitting here and I will not be knitting it. Instead, I will insert my hand inside this second stitch, not the first one, grab working yarn and pull it out. This stitch will still be here, and when you come back, and it will be last stitch, you will have to knit it, but by skipping the first stitch, we will have a chain on the side, on this side, and then on the left side. This chain will look the same as this chain on the bottom. That's the reason I am skipping the first stitch. If you don't want to skip it, it's fine, it's absolutely fine, you can knit it. The only thing you need to know that you will use a little bit more yarn for the blanket, and you will not have a beautiful chain on the side, it will be a little bit curly. So anyway, so here we are knitting our last stitch, and we are done with our few rows. And now the same way as we were doing on the right side, we're skipping our first stitch and we are going directly to the second one. Again, that's for the purpose of having a very nicely looking edge of the blanket, of actually both edges of the blanket, okay? So what we are doing now, we are now simply knitting our simple knitting stitch until I am done with the first skein, and then I will come back and I will show you how I am connecting this yarn. One more thing, guys, when you're knitting this yarn, make sure that it didn't twist and you are knitting it, see, it's kind of like an open here, and then you're knitting it. It looks like a chain. If it twisted, make sure to untwist it, because if you knit it when it twisted like that, it will be completely different pattern and the finished blanket will not look as good as it should. Okay, so I am knitting until I am done with my first skein, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so I'm done with the first skein. Look at this beautiful blanket. It's so lush, it's so soft. I just love how beautiful this color looks on the blanket. So I'm done with the first skein. I need to connect second skein, and I will show you how to do it. So this yarn, to connect this yarn, you will need to take out some of this filling. So I'm cutting it, and then you have this empty hollow tube, and then you will do the same on this one, only on this one don't take as much of the filling, just a little bit. And now this guy will go inside of this one, okay, as much as you can. You don't have to too much. Here you go. So we put the one end inside the other where we took the filling out, and then in order to connect it nicely, we will use the needle and the thread, okay? So I will pushing it up front that it would reach where the filling is. Here you go. What we're doing now, we will simply sew this piece. So I have a needle with this thread. So simply knitting these two together, and you will need to find the thread that is very similar to the color, that it wouldn't be very obvious where you connected it. Another way you can do actually simple knot, taking out some filling and making a knot from the two thinner tube top. It will not look as good though, so my suggestion would be to sew it like that very neatly, so it will not be really noticeable on the blanket when it's done. So going all the way through the tube, all the way around, then secure, and then simply cutting close, and we are done. So here we are, we connected it nicely. See, you cannot really see the connection. And now we will keep knitting the same way, so that connection will be in between the stitches. You will not see it, and it will hold the yarn very nicely. So this is our blanket, what we have now. I will keep knitting, and when I'm ready to cast off or to finish, I will come back and will show you how to do it. Okay guys, we are done. We are done with two skeins of this beautiful velvet yarn in misty green. We have the small lap throw blanket just to throw on your laps when you're sitting watching TV. It's just a sample. You can make it definitely much bigger, just a little bit more yarn, and I will put information how much yarn you need for different sizes underneath the blanket. So here we are. We have finished our last row. Over here we have this tail. This tail is not enough to make another row, so we will be just casting off, and I will show you a different way to cast off. I usually use the different way. Today I will use this way. So we're taking these two stitches from left to the right, and this stitch goes inside this one. See what we did? Now we have one stitch left. Take this stitch and insert it in the left one again. We have one stitch. Do the same with the next one. One on the left, one on the right. The right one goes inside. And if you're going from the different direction, then you will be just going in the opposite direction, but you will be using the same technique. This stitch is going inside, and then you're taking the next stitch and going inside until you are done with all stitches, which were pretty close. So here we are. We have just one left, so this stitch goes inside, and we just finished. See, this is a beautiful cast off chain. Now we will insert this tail inside the last stitch and pull it all the way through. So here we are, we finished our blanket. So this tail you can cut and weave in. I will not be cutting it, I will be just showing you how to weave it in. So the tail goes underneath the chain, one time, two times, and I'm not cutting it because I will be reusing this yarn, but so I'm showing you if you cut and have a short tail. So you're going underneath the chain a few times and then go on the back and tuck in this end. And when it's tucked in, you can actually sew it. If you want to sew it, you will need to remove this filling inside a little bit more. Let's show me. I will show you. So remove the filling, and then you will have this tube, and then you can simply sew this tube, this opening, to the back of the stitch. And this way you will not really see it, and this way it will be attached very nicely, so you will not see this tail coming out or falling out when you're using this blanket, and specifically when you're washing it, because this yarn can easily be washed, this blanket. Here we can, so see, that's how it could be done. This is our beautiful blanket. Again, this is a small lapse row, and we used only 2 of the 2-pound skeins, like that. You can find this and all the other new and old beautiful colors at BeCozi.com. The link velvet yarn, velvet and tube yarn. And this is a perfect gift for Christmas. You still have time to make it. And check out our website, BeCozi.com. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, my hand knitting book is ready for you to purchase. It can be purchased at BeCozi.com and on Amazon, and also available as an e-Kindle. It's a perfect gift for yourself or your loved one. It's the most unique gift and book on the knitting market.